Greetings, everyone. It's been a minute, but I am back. It's me. That's right, your boy. With ginger ale, and I am ready for a new track review episode. Everybody is here. Yay. By everybody, I mean 13 people. I appreciate you guys, though. I really do. Oh yeah, the song that was just playing was this one, which is my newest song that I released a month ago. I need to release more music. I honestly I've been so creatively drained ever since I started doing sound design for my job. It's rough. It's rough doing sound design and music work as a job. I know it sounds like I'm being all, I have such a hard life. I get to do what I love to do for a job. No, but it's like creatively draining in the sense that it makes it hard to actually go in and make my own music because I just spent all day making other sounds and putting all my creativity towards that. So music's a little slow. Hey, these pictures pretty. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the guy. He's making some grime art for me. I'm excited to see that, man. Rubik's Cubes are very fun. I have one up here. I can't solve a Rubik's Cube, funny enough. I honestly have never been able to solve a Rubik's Cube. But we're not here to solve Rubik's Cubes. We're here for a track review. So, oh, bad video settings. What? How's the stream for y'all? It's saying the stream health is very bad. So let me know if something's going wrong. Everything's looking fine to me, so until somebody complains that the stream is bad, I'm going to just leave that be, and let's get to the track reviews. If you want to know how to submit your track, there's a link in the description well, it's not really a link, it's just my email in the description. You can send me a link to your song. I prefer either SoundCloud or YouTube. I guess you can use Clip It if you want, but just any platform like that would be best. Alright, let's see. This first person, oh, it didn't make a hyperlink. It's okay. I can copy it. Copy and paste it. See what you gave me. Sure, you can give me some teeth. You can make it like fangs or something cool. I don't know. Do whatever. Wait, y'all can't hear the song? What? Why can't y'all... Wait, what? Time out. No audio. But you can hear me talking, right? It's coming through loud and clear. Hold up. Yeah. What? Hold up. Let me try and fix this. Let's see, did y'all hear that? Yeah. What? Hold up. Let me try and fix this. There it is. Okay, y'all could hear that, right? Y'all heard that. Yeah. That worked. Okay, cool. All right. Sorry about that. That was really weird. It was playing my track fine, and then I went to somebody else's track, and it didn't. What the heck? Come on. OBS, is that a you problem, OBS? Whatever. All right, I'm just gonna start this over, and so everybody can hear what was going on. Fade out. Cool. All right. I don't know if I'm going to keep this up, like listening to the whole thing and just writing things down and then doing everything afterward, but I'm probably going to do that because it seems to work all right. The intro, I think, is a bit boring. I like the sound you have going. I like that kind of melody and the ARP going in the background, and you got the vocal and things like that with the build-up, but it's a little boring, and I think the easiest way to fix that is just make it shorter. I think you have a, I don't know how many bars it is, the intro, but all you have to do is cut it in half. Make the first half the intro, make the second half the build-up, because you were missing a build-up. It just kind of went right into the drop, and it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. It sort of came out of nowhere, and I think that's easily fixed with just a normal build-up. You know, it doesn't have to be a crazy, super big breakdown build-up. It can just be any kind of build-up. Just make me get ready for the drop here. After that, I think the main bass is a little too mono. It's just a personal thing. There is really just one main bass, but I think it's cool enough that it can function on its own most of the time. I put down here to add some more like sound change-ups in between, maybe just other little things here, maybe some higher like screeching basses, just other stuff, maybe not the same sound all the time, but for the most part, I think the main bass can kind of hold its own in the track, so that's good. But it just needs to be a little wider, maybe with some stereo spread. You can maybe even pan it around side to side a little bit, would be kind of fun. But yeah, after that, you have this area right after the drop. which is pretty much the same thing as like the intro. You just added in the heavy drums. And I think what would be really cool is either if you put some kind of lead there, some kind of like robotic lead, I think that'd be dope, and just play like a little solo melody thing. Or you could even add a vocal, or like a vocal chops, or like just do something, add something there to kind of catch my eye. Everything right there seems like it's like background layers for something big, like a lead or a vocal or something like that. I think that'd be really cool just to keep it interesting after the drop, you know? So yeah, what else did I write? Did I write anything else? Yeah, during the drop, and even maybe during here, some of that, maybe a little more hi-hats and cymbals, because I'm hearing, you have that that one hi-hat going in the background. I think if you just add a few more hi-hats in there, maybe some like percussions or something like that, just to make it or something like that, it'll make it a lot more interesting. It'll kind of fill it out a little more, and I think this is pretty dang good track. Let's see. I need some help for remix content. Is it possible to take a listen to my remix? Well, if you send it to my email, hopefully I can get to it. I really need some feedback when we got vocals. Yeah, that's fine. Send it to my email, and hopefully I'll get to it. This is the first song, so I still have a while to go. If you submit your track now, you'll probably get your track reviewed. So yeah. All right. Nice work, Andy234. Let's see. Next one right here. Let me copy and paste. Killing Soul. All right. Nice intro.
Fucking go. That's fucking
Yeah, I'm actually just gonna start stopping it halfway through. I think that'll be better. But all right, cool. Killing Soul. I think in the intro, I don't know if it's just because there's a lot of sub and bass, but the side chaining sounds very strong, especially when you have the brass comes in. It isn't just a ducking down quickly for the kit. It's like a duck down and hold, and then it rises back up, which makes it sound a little bit muddy. But I think the track as a whole sounds very, very compressed, and you're supposed to compress your track. Like, don't get me wrong. A track being compressed is not the problem. It's if it sounds compressed, if it like sounds super, super compressed and like it's kind of pumping back and forth, then it can make it sound a little bit muddy. It's just the easiest way to add a lot of compression to a sound and make it not sound compressed is to turn down the release. If you turn down the release, it may distort, and you have to be careful when you're doing stuff like that. But this is when kind of mastering comes into play. Making it loud, it can be a little bit complicated, but it sounds kind of muddy with all the compression going on. Yeah, when we get into the drop, I wasn't really impressed. I wasn't really blown away. I think, and that's mainly because of the sounds, and I kind of think that main sound, that that laser, it's a little bit boring. I think that sound in particular is not a great sound to use. It sounds kind of boring, like super simple, like, I don't know, it sounds kind of like a saw wave with maybe a little bit of sync, or like it doesn't really sound like anything impressive. If you were to layer like some sounds together or add, you know, just some different stuff and make a better main bass, then I feel like this track would be a lot better, but I'm just really not digging that sound. It doesn't really rub me the right way. And the pattern is a little bit repetitive. It's, you know, just and that just, it goes throughout the entire drop. So I kind of changed that up a bit too, add some other, you know, main sounds, variations, stuff like that. Yeah. Second drop is less repetitive. All right, so let's continue on to the second drop. Also, I'm a little confused at the key of the track because the brass and the ARP sound like different keys. I don't know.
Let's fucking go.
All right, cool. Now I see what you're saying with it, like with it being less repetitive, but it is still like the same sounds as before. And I guess with the sound, with the main sound that you have, just like me not liking it very much, it's just a little bit lacking in my opinion. It just makes it seem like the same as the first drop, even though I know you changed stuff up and I know you made it a little bit different. But yeah, I really just think it's just that sound. Like honestly, this track would be a lot better in my opinion if it just had a different sound. So that's just the advice I have to give there. Yeah, I'd say the track doesn't really have a huge key. Like it doesn't really have a key that is, you know, driven into you, like, or any kind of progression or chords or whatever like that. So I feel like the brass and the ARP and the you had some other like kind of offbeat chords coming in like here or something like that. I think they all need to find their own. They all need to find their key. You gotta zero in on one key here because it's kind of hard. Seems random melodically, but yeah, I think that's all I gotta say about that. Cool. Let's take in the next track. It's a remix. I can't do the remixes, man. I can't. In the description it says no remixes or bootlegs. I can't do this remix. Vocals remix contest. I didn't know this was a Code Pandorum. Wait, Code Pandorum's having a remix contest? What? That'd be cool. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna give you basic feedback on it, but I'm not gonna go deep into it because I don't like to do the ones of like remixes like this. I'm sorry. I guess I didn't catch that before, but I don't really like to do the remixes because I can't tell like what you've made and what somebody else has made and stuff like that. It's yeah, sorry, I didn't catch that before. It's my bad. Only the vocals. Okay, I can just listen through real quick.
Check it out. Runs back when we step up to the stage. Make some space in the pit. Don't you dare to cross away with the death wall rolling. Holding back for no one. We tear that place up like the grave is calling. Runs back when we step up to the stage. Make some space in the pit. Don't you dare to cross away with the death wall rolling. Holding back for no one. We tear that place up like the grave is calling us.
Wait. I have a question. You said only the vocals. For the remix contest, did he like put out vocals and then have somebody put that into the track, or is this the track and you added your own vocals? So we got two. Oh, it is the. Okay, you got the 2 cents. So these aren't your vocals. These are somebody else's vocals. Okay.
The grave is calling. We will never know it. The grave is calling.
All right. So, cool. As far as like the vocals go, I think the vocals are pretty cool. It's not really my style of metal vocals, I'd say. I guess I'm a little more into like gutturals and stuff. But as far as like the rest of the track goes, I think it's not half bad. Like I think it's pretty solid. I think the mixing is a little strange, where there doesn't seem to be a lot of like mid to low end. Like it doesn't really punch me in the face, which is what I want when I listen to a track like that. I want it to hit me really hard, especially if you're turning it to Code Pandorum, because that's definitely what he's gonna want to hear. Like that's what his music is all about. So I feel like I need more, richness in like in the bottom and in mid, like low end. It just seems like there's kind of a scoop out of like the low mid region, which I'm not really into. But as far as the sound design itself, it honestly does not seem bad. Like I think this is good sound design. Again, it could be like mixed a little better, making sure like the stereo field is the same for each of this, because this kind of scraping sound right here, it sounds pretty mono, while the other ones are pretty stereo. Stuff like that, just mixing them together. I think the basis of the track you have right here is really good. Like I think it is really good. It just needs a little bit of mixing and stuff like that. I think that's your only culprit right here, is that.
When we step up to the stage, make some space in the pit. Don't you dare to cross away with.
And definitely, like, the vocals sound very, very compressed. And, of course, compression is very important when you're doing vocals like this. I don't know if you got the vocals while they were compressed or not. But when screaming, the vocals definitely need to be compressed a lot. But you also have to turn the release down. Because, like, screaming, it's all different levels. The only way to make it sound powerful and to make those consonants punch out, you really have to just drive it through some hard compression with the release down. Yeah, lack of low end in the mids, but I love the sound design. Yeah, the sound design is dope. I like it a lot.
With the death quad rolling, holding back for no one. We tear that place up like the grave is calling. The blood runs back when we step up to the stage. Make some space in the pit. Don't you dare to cross away with the death quad rolling, holding back for no one. We tear that place up like the grave is calling us. We will never know it.
I'd also say add some more layers in the background, like maybe like a crowd noise, or like more like crashes and cymbals and background layers during the drop, because definitely with that vocal fill right before we layered the high vocal and the low vocal together, it sounds so full and like just cool.
We will never know it.
And the stereo spectrum just isn't filled out as much as I want during the drop. Again, you really need to just bang through and just really death step this. But yeah, other than that.
The grave has fallen. The grave has fallen.
All right, cool. Good job on this, dude. Good job on this. It's literally just the mixing, like I said before. The track itself, I think, is really, really cool. All right, it still says bad video settings. The stream health is low. That's, you suck. Like, come on. All right. All right. Track review. Let's get this. Also, I might want to try my have a go at that Code Pandorum remix. That'd be fun.
Now, existence, you see, is something that is spontaneous. The Chinese word for nature, zhiran, means that which happens of itself. Your hair grows by itself. Your heart beats by itself. You breathe pretty much by itself. You don't have voluntary control over these things. So we say it happens spontaneously. So when you go to sleep and you try to go to sleep, you interfere with the spontaneous process of going to sleep. Try to breathe, you know, real hard, and you find you get balled up in your breathing. You've got to let go and let it happen. Because if you don't, you're going to be all clutched up. You're going to be constantly trying to do what can happen healthily only if you don't try. But we have a strange anxiety in us that if we don't interfere, it won't happen. And that's the root of an enormous amount of trouble.
All right, yeah. He already said in the chat, he already just straight up said, I know the intro lacks variation, which it does. I was going to point out on that anyway. Like, I love using vocals like that, especially when it sounds like old-timey, kind of almost like vinyl recordings of somebody speaking. I think it's really cool, but it has to be layered with other stuff as well. Like, it is the same thing. Like, the intro is a little boring. I just got kind of bored by the intro. You know, the vocals came in. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But if you added more stuff in the background to kind of keep interest, it would have been even cooler. And maybe a build up as well. You know, something that's a little more substantial than this part right here. Because that's just like a simple fill and stuff like that. The idea is cool, and the drop is pretty cool. I kind of wish it was a little more heavier as far as like the sounds and like the layering and stuff like that, because you know, just making sure like it's wide in the stereo field, adding like stronger stuff in the background, you know, more background layers like hi-hats and cymbals, maybe like crowd noise. I always say this, but the idea behind it is really, really cool, and you do definitely have some cool sounds in here. Especially that kind of lead, this like, that like, I don't even know. It's kind of playing that. It needs to have more layers in the background to really like really burst through. And it's weird when I like try to do vocally what it should sound like. I know nobody understands but me. But anyway, I hope you get the gist. Everything needs to be just generally more powerful and hit a little bit harder. More cymbals, definitely, like, you know, stuff like that. And just keep going. I can tell this is just kind of the beginning. There's just a minute and 30 seconds to this, so So cool. Nice work. Good work. Here we are. So just now, if you get around to my submission, I'd like some tips on how I can master. Spectral Sound, get a Discord server. I barely ever use Discord. But yeah, as far as mastering tips, oof, that's like a whole video. I'd have to make a video on that. But Ozone, I don't know. You could also use Maximus. It's just like saturation and compression with low release times will make it louder. Mastering is like a whole science. It's a whole art. And I feel like once you know how to do it, it's not too hard, but learning how to do it is the hard part. It took me a long time to learn how to master anything decently. Like that was, but I may be able to give you some tips on that. All right. Blood Machine. Honestly, this is my favorite track so far. This sounds really, really dope. The one thing I think I have to say about this as of right now is the main bass you have going. It sounds awesome. Like it sounds great. I love it. But it needs to be more stereo wide. Either add like stereo layers or something like that, or do something to make it really stereo, because I wanted to fill out the spectrum, because right now it's pretty mono. And maybe just generally make all the basses a little more stereo to just fill out the spectrum more. But dang, this is really cool. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming. Maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. No remixes, please.
Dubstep. Press. Dubstep.
Cool. All right, yeah. I guess in the second drop, what I would do is add a variation to the main bass, because it's the same main bass, which sounds really cool, like I said before, But in this situation, if you're going to keep the same pattern that the main bass had, what I would do is definitely change it up. Like duplicate whatever plugins you had or samples you used or whatever, and change it up. Like, let's say if I was using like Serum for that, I'd like change up like the wavetable position or just specific stuffs about it, make it sound a little bit different, you know, bend it a different way, just add some variation, you know, make it so you can tell that it is generally the same sound, but it's a different version of it. That's what I want to hear. But yeah, I can't really show the cue because it's not necessarily like people's, like, as far as their email. Well, I guess I could. Yeah, right now this is what I got so far. I have these guys. This is a dude. The previous one he did was a remix, so I'm not gonna go on that. But this is what it looks like as of now. But okay. Great job. This is an awesome track. I love it. Definitely good work. And on to the next one. I know remixes are bootlegs because it's hard for me to tell when I'm doing when someone just submits a remix. I can't tell what they've done and what somebody else has done. I can't tell if they made that sound or they added that sound, or if somebody else, you know, did that and they're just like, I can't tell how much of it is the original and how much of it is part of their remix. So that's why I tend to say no remixes or bootlegs, just because I want to hear just them. I want to critique their work and just their work, not their work and another artist's work and stuff like that. So that's kind of the reason for that. In the streets.
We saw people in the street. Ready to say hello to this dog with a banana. We saw people in Orlando.
All right. Well, that was awesome. That was just dope. I love that, especially like the intro. When the intro happened, I was automatically like, yeah, this is awesome. And the sound design is on point. It's really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. The only thing that's biting you in the butt here, in my opinion, is the mixing. It's not super clean to me. As far as like the leveling of things, I think the leveling of things is fine. Like, you know, the drums in level with the basses and the subs and stuff like that. I think that's all fine. I think the main thing is the high end, especially in the basses, I think isn't filled out very well. Like when you hear the basses, they sound kind of dull. Some of them sound a little muffled. It's like some of them are out of phase. It's a little strange when I hear them. And they sound almost too stereo spread in this opinion. Like there isn't enough hitting right in the mid-range. It doesn't sound, they don't sound super clean to me. That's the only thing that's kind of turning me off. I think the rest of this is awesome, and definitely the idea you have here is just really, really good. I think we can all agree this track is very, very good. But it's just the mixing of things together. It sounds a little bit, what's the best way to put it? It's not like watery. Yeah, phase. It's hard to put this into words because it's really just something that I'm hearing, and it's just not the high end. It doesn't sound super powerful. It's a weird plugin. Well, I'd like to know what plugin you use to make those sounds because these are cool. Dissonant. That's a good word. They sound kind of dissonant. But anyway, let me continue. It's saying to play the bridge. Cool, can't wait to see it.
We saw people in the street.
We saw people in Orlando.
Awesome. Favorite track so far in my opinion in this stream. It has a really nice melodic intro. It had a super heavy drop. Really cool. Let's see, should I send it to you through Instagram? Oh, the picture. You can just email them to me. Same email as in the description. You can just send them right on through there. If I get the email, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, okay. In the streets, good. Awesome job. Awesome job. Next person. Let's see. Where is the link? Oh, okay. Again, it didn't make a hyperlink. Let's see. It's a remix again. Man, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't do the wait, I've already done you. Alright, no, this is, again, in the description it also says one per person. You've already been done. Thanks for the submission anyway, though. Anyway. Let's see. Death Step. Well, you sent me two. Here's a link to a Death Step and a link to a rhythm. So I'm in the Death Step mood. This is the first one he sent anyway. I'll just do this. Let me copy this link and paste it into here.
Never should have trusted you with Because of you, I had to banish my top scarer.
With this machine, we won't need scares. Besides,
Sullivan was twice
See you later, bro.
scarer you will ever be. Sullivan was twice scarer you will ever be.
All right, cool. I will say, kind of like I just noticed it kind of right now, is that the melodic stuff from the drop doesn't really, it's not really on the same key, not really on the same key as the rest of it. It's like, I can hear some of those Code Pandorum like choirs going in the background, and then it's not really on the same key as this. But that's okay. Need a sub. Yeah, needs sub bass. I need the sub bass. At first I didn't notice it, but there's no sub bass, especially when you hear the kick. And just general mid to low end, in my opinion, needs to come through a little thicker and heavier. Like if you're looking at your spectrum and you see a dip in the mid to low end, if you see a little dip going, that's bad. That's not a good thing. You want it to be like just a solid flat line. Maybe boosting a little bit, like a little bit of the lows, kind of a low to high action, kind of downward. But you don't want to see a dip. That's the one thing you really don't want to see. Yeah, the kick, I believe, just isn't a good sample. I don't even think it's the mixing. I think it's just not a great sample of kick. It needs to be a punchier kick, one that really like pounds through. Especially like death step, making it nice and snappy and like just really punchy is an important part. So I'd just get a new kick sample. That's really my my remedy for that. But cool. Let's keep going.
Finally, I never should have trusted you with this. Because of you, I had to banish my top scarer. Scarer.
with this machine, we won't need scares.
This is Monster Zing, definitely. I can respect that.
Finally, I never should have trusted you with this. Because of you, I had to banish my top scarer. Finally, I never should have trusted you with this. Because of
Escuchando musiquita.
Cool. All right. The only thing I have to say about this that I hadn't said before is make the basses more stereo. Now I know I always get on to people about filling out the stereo spectrum with their sounds, but this is very important to me, because it's like let me just show you this one plugin. This is going to help a lot of people out. It's just called Stereo, and it's by Kilohertz. This is free. If you go to the Kilohertz website, you can download this plugin. It is extremely free. And let me just show you, this is one of the easiest ways to just take a sound that is kind of stereo. Like, let's say you made a bass. Best bass ever, right? And then you go into the hyperdimension, and you just add some dimension with stuff like this, you know. Now it's wider. You can see how wide this is. even though you added that dimension, it's still not very wide. If I were to turn the width up like a lot, like 400%, it'd be very wide, way too wide. You see that red? That means it's too wide. That middle line is kind of where it is in the actual panning like position spectrum, but it's too wide. Turn it down a little bit. There we go. That's a little more comfortable. If you're looking at your bass's stereo spectrum and it looks like that, it probably isn't wide enough. It probably isn't wide enough. Just use this tool and widen it a little bit more. It'll help you out a lot. Or just add more, you know, add more dimension expanding and stuff like that. But definitely you can use this plugin just as a tool to help you see visually how wide your sound actually is. Because this width is basically the same as this knob right here in FL Studio. It's the same thing. If I were to turn, you know, the width all the way up right here, it'd be pretty much the same as me turning the width all the way up right there. That's what it is, but it gives you visual kind of cues. So use this plugin a lot. I use it all the time. All right, moving on. That's all I have to say about that. I just wanted to tell everyone that because I feel like everyone should know about that. Gotta go, lads. Have a nice one. Have a nice one. Have a nice day, or evening, or night, or morning. You know, wherever you are in the world. All right. Really meh wubs for feedback, eh? All right. That was the title of that. That was the title of that email. Let's give her a listen. Damn. I love that OTT feedback at the end. That's beautiful. But yeah, this is cool. I like this. This is not sounding bad at all. I think you got a good structure going here. It's a little repetitive in the beginning, but it isn't that boring to me. I think that's fine. Like I don't really think you need to do too much else with that. The drops sound really cool. I love the sound design. I think, again, I just have to go back to the stereo. I think the basses are too mono. I think especially when you're doing that kind of minimalistic sounding stuff like that, you have to make your basses really stereo. If you listen to a track like Shindaru by Virtual Riot, the basses are very wide, but they still fill out the spectrum. That's kind of, he's really using that to his advantage when making a track like that. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's not a long, obviously it's just 1 minute and 10 seconds, so keep going. It sounds very, very cool, very nice. Doing a good job. Let's copy this link and paste. Trippy rock trap beat-ish. Oh, this sounds interesting. Cool. I think this is pretty dope. It sounds like a hip hop instrumental to me. I think this sounds like something somebody would rap over. You know, this definitely doesn't sound like just like a trap song itself. It doesn't sound like it belongs just by itself. It sounds like there really should be vocals on top of it. But I kind of dig this. That's sort of, you got the rock kind of guitar in there, and the trap beats in the background, and you have that kind of doo-doo-doo kind of thing in the background going there, which with a ton of verb on it, which works very, very well in filling out space. I'd say add some verb on the guitar, because there is still space that needs to be filled out, you know, especially about the vocal. Just some little tad a splash of verb on that guitar will really help out a lot, especially since you're panning the guitar kind of side to side. I think this is really cool. I'm into this. You should get like a rapper over this or something like that. That could be pretty interesting. So yeah, not a lot I have to say about this. It's pretty unique. It's pretty fun. I dig it. All right. Let's take this link. We have been going for an hour. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the lineup I got. As of right now, I have these guys. So yeah, if you're one of these guys, lucky you, because I'm probably getting to you.
Solo quería que todos le dieran un poco de amor. Solo amor. Solo quería que todos le dieran un poco de amor.
All right, this is pretty cool. I kind of like the vibe I'm getting from this. That sort of, oh, my doorbell just rang, but that sort of Spanish Latin kind of vibe. Oh, that's oh, Cyclops commented on this. That's cool. Anyway, yeah, I like the kind of vibe you're getting here. I'd say the intro, meaning this little bit at the beginning, not the rest of this. I think this sounds fine, but this little bit right here, it needs some more stuff. Like you need to take some more elements. Maybe the vocal, like the low pass version of the vocal, kind of like rising up a little bit, and then when the actual like chorus hits, then it goes all the way up, like with the low pass filter, or just something like that to kind of rise up and lead into the other bit. Yeah, it does need a build up. I think before the drop hits, it's kind of sudden. You need to build up in some way, and then you have a bit of a pre-drop vocal you can use just right there. It works out very, very well. So just add a basic build up, nothing crazy. And once again, I'm gonna have to do more stereo on the basses. I think the basses just need more. They're too mono. They need some more stereo, some more dimension expanding. You know, use a stereo plugin. You know, just stuff like that. How can I send you a track? There is my email is in the description. You can shoot me an email with the track link, and I hopefully will get to it. So cool. This is good stuff so far, though. I like it.
Que el zorro se rindió de buscar una solución hacia su frialdad de amor. Sin embargo, se dio cuenta que su pelaje ya cambió por poseer maldad interna que todo el mundo ya creó. Tenía poderes tan oscuros que todo aquel que se acercara se arrepentía de haber visto esa forma tan malvada. Hacía que el mundo estremeciera con tan solo una mirada. Y él dijo que este mundo él al fin lo gobernara. Solo quería que todos le dieran un poco de amor. Puedes quedarte. Tu decepción hacia la humanidad. Tu decepción hacia la humanidad.
Cool. No. Stop. Not Joyride. Okay. Cool. Again, I think the same stuff as I said before. This is pretty cool. The drop, I think, probably needs to be a little bit more filled out, meaning just more general layers and heaviness, because when you went into this sort of pre-drop, right there, I wanted it to hit a lot harder than it did. I wanted there to be another crash, like shh, and then like just like some heavier stuff going on. I guess I want the dubstep to be a little heavier, but maybe that's just me. Maybe the style isn't supposed to be like heavy. Maybe it's supposed to be just kind of a weaker form of dubstep like that. But I don't know. It's cool. It's cool vibes either way. Cool. Can you please listen to Sugar Spike by Elder and Sizak on YouTube? If you send it and it's your track, then I will review it, if that's the question. Yeah. Next one. Meopolix. Copy this link. Wait. This is like the third track you sent in. My dude. I didn't even realize. You've already... Bro, stop sending in tracks. I didn't even realize that I had already done you. No, I'm trying to do this one per person. Like, there are other people who want their tracks sent in. I just completely reviewed that track without realizing that it was the second time somebody sent in a track. I'm trying to keep track of this, man. Oh wow, yeah, wow, that's me. Yeah, look at that resemblance. It's uncanny. You seeing that? Oh, this is great. All right. He says right here, I know the mix has too much highs. Sorry, I made this like 1 day ago. I don't think that it has too much highs, in my opinion. I feel like it's just not like... Like, I think the highs are loud enough. They just seem weak. Like, I feel like there should be more crunch. I'm trying to think of like how exactly to put this. Yeah, maybe it needs more high end in like the mid to high end range. It needs a little more power and a little more bite there. The actual, like the very high end, the very, very crispy high end, I think is fine though. I don't think you need to mess with that at all. But overall, I don't really have a lot to say about this. Like, it's pretty good. More hi-hats and cymbals and stuff in the background, just like more background stuff to fill everything out, I think will help a lot. But you know, crowd noise like cymbals and crashes and maybe a ride or something like that. But I'm not going to spend any more time on that. This is needed. This is good, and I appreciate the artwork. It's good stuff. Hold up. All right. Yeah, you guys just give me 1 second. All right. Needs more OTT. Everything needs more OTT. All right. You rewind up-tempo tracks too? Yeah, I'll try up-tempo tracks. I'll rewind whatever you give me. This is like happy hardcore.
Den habe ich von Sergio. Dann noch ein bisschen Opium, noch ein bisschen Heroin, verstoßenes Ecstasy, Methadon, Schmerzmittel, Morphium, Pilze und noch ein bisschen anderes, das ich nicht identifizieren kann, aber ich denke auch ein wenig Angel dafür. Bisschen
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. Hard up tempo, hardcore. I think it's safe to say this isn't really my style, and I know I said that I would review it for you and everything, and I will, and I'm gonna give my opinion on it. I guess I'm not really into the style. If there's something I say that you're like, no, it's just supposed to sound that way, then completely disregard what I say, because I'm not very educated in this style. I guess I know a little bit about hard style, but this is like not. This is kind of straying away from that and going into different territories. What I've heard from hardstyle is everything's a lot wider, a lot bigger sounding. It's like big room hardcore. Like with hardstyle, you know, I think this kick is pretty dry and kind of well, what's the word? I don't know. Dry is kind of the best word I can use for it. Whereas hardstyle kicks are usually a lot thicker and juicier and, you know, wider, and they have a little more girth to them. You know what I mean? But 200 BPM, a lot faster than I would usually work unless I'm making a metal song or something like that. But a lot of it doesn't sound super creative to me. Like it's just the kick going and some hi-hats. Like I would feel like something else would have to go on top of that, and maybe for this kind of repetition and this kind of slow moving structure of the song, I'd say like shorten everything down and add little more interesting like effects and stuff like that. But yeah, cool. Just sent the second one through Instagram. Okay, Instagram works fine too. That's cool. Thanks, man. But yeah, let's just keep listening a little bit. Sounds crunchy in a way. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to, but even still, it's like, it's just a little dry. Breaks take forever. Yeah, I think this song could be half as short as it is. Like each part of stuff you have, just take out half of it and then squeeze it all together. Like take out half of this part, take out half of this part, take out half of this part, and just like then put them all together into one song. It'll be a lot shorter, and I think it will be better because this kind of style that doesn't have a ton of variation, it needs to be shorter in my opinion. I think it just kind of does. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about this. Again, this is not my style, so I don't know exactly how to critique. That's just my personal 2 cents on it. So yeah, let's move on. Did I just click the right person? Yeah, I did. Yeah, after I've been streaming for about an hour and 30 minutes, I'm probably going to wrap it up. So we have like 12 more minutes here. key. Yeah, the mix highs in your face. I think that's the main thing with this, is just the mix. Like, the song itself is not half bad at all. I think you just need more mid-low sounds and more sub. Because, like, if I put this song in FL Studio, this is what I expect that the EQ curve would look like. I expect, instead of, like, it being just flat, I feel like it would look like this. Like, it would look like this. And that's not a good thing. This is not a good thing to have if your song looks like this. This is not good. What it needs to look like is a little more like this. If you have this thing going on right here, if it looks like this, then your track is all right. Maybe a little bit of this. If the curve has this kind of shape, then you're fine. Keep it like that. But you have the opposite going on right here, and it's not good. It makes your track sound very weak. The highs are in your face, and when I try to turn it up more to make it sound more powerful, the highs are just way too piercing. It's not a good situation. So yeah, I'd say that's really the only thing right now. But yeah, cool. Maybe it's just that it's hard to get past that. I don't think I'll be able to get through all the tracks today. I'm sorry about that. It is a good melody.
This is getting embarrassing.
Alright, cool. Yeah, it's just the same stuff I'd say before. Just is the same sort of thing. This is a very long song. This is like a 5-minute song, and it can be hard, especially when you have a long bridge. Like, you had a pretty decently long bridge going in here. It can be hard to keep it interesting. I was kind of bored during the last half. There wasn't really much changing. To have like a 5-minute song, especially when it's like rhythm and stuff like that, or bridum as it says here, you kind of need to have more stuff going on, different stuff happening, stuff to really keep the listener interested, because I don't think there are that many people that would listen all the way through. Like, listen like halfway, you're like, oh, okay, that's cool, and then move on. Like, there needs to be something cool happening in the last bits in order to make it a 5-minute song and be okay. There should be much less highs covered. Yeah, it's just the mixing, like you said. But all right, cool. I'm gonna try to do 2 more, but they got to be quick. I'm gonna do these quickly. So let me copy this link right here and paste it in. Psychedelic house. Hey, Sound Killer, popping here at the very end. Just in time for the end of the stream. Oh yeah. That was cool. I think this is really dope. This kind of sci house, whatever it is. I didn't know there was sci house. I thought it was just sci trance and stuff like that. But it kind of makes sense now. I really like it. I think the only thing you need is more sub. Like, when you have this kind of style that is very minimal, like there isn't a ton going on, that means you can really crank it and crank up a lot of sub, and you can really feel the sub in the track. So so just add a little bit more sub. I think this sounds awesome. I'm trying to go through it a little bit fast. It's not like it's boring or anything. I like it. I think it sounds good. Again, like, sci house isn't really my expertise. I don't claim to be super knowledgeable at any house genre. Really, house has never been my gig, but I think that sounds really good, especially for the kind of psychedelic trance house songs that I've heard. it sounds pretty solid. So good job there. All right, this is the last one. This is the last one. I'm sorry everyone that I couldn't get to. I just do have to wrap up the stream here. Jesus Christ. That was awesome. That was awesome. Really good death step. It reminded me of the collab that Code Pandorum did with Ulasile Pity. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't sound like anything like that, but that's what it made me think of. This is awesome. I'm really struggling to find something wrong with this. Like, you did a really good job here. Maybe, man, I don't know. It's really heavy. Maybe a little tiny bit more of like the very high end, like around 10K. I don't know, man. This is really good. It's really solid. I think I'm gonna have to leave it at that. Just like keep going. You definitely sounds awesome. All right. Could we see who would have gone next? Well, what's the point in that? What's the point in knowing who would have come next? You know, nobody did. Doesn't matter. I'll do another one of these soon. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. But I've been going for an hour and 30 minutes. I told myself that I would wrap it up at this. So thank you guys so much for being here. Everyone I didn't get to, I'm sorry I couldn't get to you. Like, legitimately I am. But these would go on forever. Everybody would be sending tracks, and I just can't do that. I have to move on. I have plans, stuff I have to do this evening. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I enjoyed listening to your tracks. There's some really awesome ones in here, and I hope my criticism went through and helped some people. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I enjoy doing these. I think these are cool. I may do another one of those soon, but I have to actually get to recording videos too. Oof, those take a long time. I also don't like editing, but it's whatever. Okay. Thanks guys for hanging out, and I will see you later.